The snow had been falling for 3 straight days, thick flakes tumbling through the grey light like ash. By the 4th morning, the sky finally cleared. A pale blue stretched over the jagged peaks of the Austrian Alps. The group of 5 friends stood at the edge of the ridge, skis strapped, their breath clouding the air. "Last run before lunch," said Marco, grinning behind his goggles. "Only if it's worth it," replied Lena, her voice muffled through her scarf. She was the most cautious of them, a mountain guide in training, but even she couldn't deny how perfect the snow looked. They'd come to the remote Vorarlberg region for what was supposed to be a quiet winter retreat: skiing, hot meals, and isolation. The cabin they rented sat alone near the tree line, half buried under the weak snowfall, reachable only by snowmobile. The nearest village was 20 kilometers away. Nils adjusted his pack and glanced toward the valley below. "Looks untouched," he said. "No tracks. Let's make it quick before the weather shifts again." They began their descent one by one, carving through the powder. The world was silent except for the hiss of skis. The snow felt weightless, almost unreal. Then a sharp crack. Lena froze. She knew that sound. "Stop!" she shouted, but the mountain had already started to move. The slope above them fractured like breaking glass. A thunderous roar rolled down the valley as a wall of snow came alive. Marco vanished in seconds. Nils tried to veer sideways, but the avalanche swallowed him too. Lena felt herself lifted, thrown, tumbled like a rag doll in white chaos. Her world was muffled screams and pressure. When she finally stopped, everything was still. She could barely move, chest tight under the weight. She dug upward, gasping into daylight. Snow stung her face. "Marco! Nils!" she yelled, but there was only the wind. Her avalanche beacon pinged faintly, one signal, then another. She crawled toward it, numb and panicked, until she found Anna's glove sticking out from the drift. Together, they clawed at the snow until they uncovered Marco's face, pale, lips blue. He wasn't breathing. Lena's hands trembled as she tried compressions. Anna sobbed beside her. When the pulse didn't return, Lena sat back in shock. The mountain loomed over them, silent and indifferent. Somewhere below, the beacon still beeped. "Someone's alive," Lena whispered, staring down the slope. "We have to find them before night." The sun was already sinking behind the peaks, casting the snowfields in gold. But as they followed the faint signal deeper into the valley, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was watching from the trees. They dug through the snow until they found Nils, miraculously breathing under a pocket of air. His leg was twisted at a sickening angle, bone visible through his torn pants. "Don't move," Lena ordered, voice hoarse. She packed snow around the wound to slow the bleeding. "Where's Marco?" Nils croaked. Anna looked away. Lena said nothing. They rigged a makeshift sled using skis and rope. The plan was to reach the cabin before dark, then signal for rescue. But their radios were dead, crushed in the avalanche, and the temperature was dropping fast. Snow began again, thin and sharp. By dusk, they finally spotted the cabin, a small blur of wood and smoke through the flurries. Relief hit Lena so hard she almost cried. Inside, the power was flickering. The small generator in the shed outside hummed unevenly. They lit candles, wrapped Nils in blankets, and checked their emergency supplies. Anna found the radio transceiver on the table. She turned it on, static. Lena adjusted the dial until a faint voice cut through. "Mountain Rescue, repeat your coordinates." She grabbed the mic. "This is Lena Horvat. 3 survivors. Avalanche near Rotkopf Ridge. 1 fatality. We need extraction. Silence. Then, crackling. Copy. Stay inside. Storm front incoming. Hey, 12 hours. 12 hours. Anna whispered. Nils groaned. I won't make it 12 hours. They heated soup on the gas stove, but the flickering lights kept stealing Lena's attention. Every few minutes, the bulbs dimmed, and a low hum reverberated through the cabin, like the mountain itself was breathing. At one point, Lena thought she saw movement outside, a dark figure crossing the snow between the trees. She pressed her face to the frosted window, but saw nothing when she looked again. "You okay?" Anna asked. "Yeah," Lena lied. "Just tired." Later, as they tried to sleep, the hum from the generator stopped. The lights went black. Silence pressed in around them. Then, 3 slow knocks at the door. Anna shot up. "Did you hear that?" Lena grabbed the axe from beside the stove. "It's probably rescue," she said, though her voice wavered. She opened the door. No one was there, only a trail of prints leading into the forest, where no one should have been. By morning, the storm was back, thick and punishing. Visibility was near 0. Nils was delirious, whispering in his sleep. Lena went to check the generator, but when she stepped outside, the footprints from the night before were gone, erased by snow. She reached the shed and froze. The generator was still, but the door had been ripped open. Inside, she found something strange. Another set of boots, half buried in snow, not theirs. She brought them inside. "Someone's been here," she said. Anna shook her head. "That's impossible. We're miles from anyone." The radio suddenly hissed. A voice, faint and distorted, whispered, "Stay inside. Don't go out after dark." Then static swallowed it. They looked at each other in silence. Hours crawled by. The wind howled. Around dusk, they heard crunching footsteps outside again, slow, deliberate. "Rescue team," Anna whispered. "Too soon," Lena said. "They said 12 hours minimum." The steps circled the cabin. Nils stirred weakly. "He's out there," he mumbled. Lena gripped the axe tighter. Through the window, she caught a glimpse. A figure standing just beyond the tree-line, motionless, dressed in white, blending almost perfectly with the snow. "Hey!" she shouted, stepping outside. The figure didn't move. When she took a few steps forward, the wind rose violently, and a sound echoed through the valley, low and mournful like a horn. The figure was gone. She returned inside, shaking. "We're barricading the door." They pushed the table against it, fed the stove, and huddled together. The storm screamed around them, but above the wind came something else, the faint sound of someone whistling. None of them slept. The storm broke at dawn. The silence was eerie, almost unnatural. Snow covered everything, smooth, untouched, as if the world had reset overnight. Lena forced herself outside, radio in hand. "This is Horvat. Anyone copy?" Static. Then a reply. "Rescue inbound. 10 minutes." She almost collapsed from relief. When she turned back to the cabin, she noticed something that froze her in place. Only 2 sets of footprints led to the door, hers and Anna's. Nils's tracks were missing. Inside, the bed where he'd lain was empty. His blankets were neatly folded. His broken leg brace was gone. "Anna," she whispered, "where's Nils?" Anna stared blankly. "He said he heard someone calling him. Around midnight. I told him not to go, but he said it was you." Lena's mouth went dry. "That wasn't me." She rushed to the window. In the snow behind the cabin, she saw faint tracks leading into the woods. only one set, uneven, dragging. They disappeared into the white. When the rescue helicopter arrived, Lena and Anna were waving from the clearing. As they lifted off, Lena looked down at the valley. Far below, near the trees, she thought she saw a figure standing, unmoving, staring up at them. She blinked. It was gone. Later, in the hospital, the rescuers told her something that kept her awake for nights. No one else was found, they said. But we did find another cabin, burned down years ago after an avalanche killed 3 people. Same ridge you mentioned. Lena didn't answer. She just stared at the window, where flakes drifted lazily past. Somewhere in the white silence of the Alps, she swore she could still hear that faint, mournful whistle.